Hello, Collegiate Academy. Welcome back to another day of math class. Within today's lesson, we're going to talk about how to solve the volume of pyramids. So before we start, let's go ahead and get started with our affirmation. Today, I will do my best to be my best. What I do today will make a difference in my life. My choices will affect me and those around me. I will listen, I will be honest, I will respect the rights of others. I will learn something today because today matters and my future is built on one now at a time. So let's start by grounding ourselves in terms of understanding what a pyramid is, because the language is going to be pretty important here, okay? So a pyramid is a solid three-dimensional shape with a polygon base and triangular faces that taper to a point, also called the vertex. Sometimes it's called the apex, okay? So putting that definition into practice, let's look at these two shapes over here. So over here we have a 3D shape. The base is a polygon. In this particular case, the base is what shape? A rectangle. And all the sides are the faces. So these four faces, they all kind of taper off and meet at this point over here, which we can call the vertex or the apex. Now, pyramids are named after the shapes of their bases. So in this case, if our base was a rectangle, we would call this a rectangular pyramid. And in this case, what is the shape of this base? Three sides, so that is a triangle. And since all the sides converge onto a single point on the top here, it's a pyramid as well. So we would call this a triangular pyramid, okay? So now that we kind of know what pyramids are, it's important that we have the toolkit to be able to solve for their volume, okay? So this is where I recommend you write this formula down and also grab a calculator, because we're going to be plugging lots of numbers into calculators when we're multiplying things, so I would definitely make sure you have this on hand. The volume of a pyramid is determined by taking 1/3, then multiplying it by the area of the base, and then multiplying it by the height of the pyramid. Now, we talked about two pyramids, rectangular and triangular. So the bases might be shaped differently. In order, or if the base was a rectangle, to find the area of the base, we would just do length times width, right? But if we were looking at a triangular pyramid, the base would be a triangle, so we'd use this formula to find the area of the base. Area of the base equals 1/2 times b times h, or base times height in that case, okay? So like I said, definitely have this formula written down and on hand. We will be adapting it to work through the next few problem sets. So let's get into some nitty-gritty stuff and work through a problem. I'm going to go through the demonstration problem on the left pretty detailed. The one on the right, you guys are going to be practicing and using this example over here as a model to work through it. So let's get into it. Looking at this problem over here, they want me to find the volume of the rectangular pyramid. So to find the volume, I need to know two things, right? I'm just going to start by writing my volume formula over here. I know 1/3 is going to stay there. I need to know the base, the area of the base, and the height of the pyramid, right? So let's start off by finding out what the area of the base is. In this case, what is the shape of the base? A rectangle. So I would use this formula. Area of the base is equal to length times width. What are my length and my width here of the bases? 12 and 6. If I multiplied 12 and 6, I would get 72. Okay. And since I multiplied feet by feet, my unit would be feet squared. Okay. Now we have the area of the base. So we can start to go ahead and start to solve for my volume now. Like we said before, the volume is determined, or the volume of the pyramid is determined by taking 1/3 multiplying it by the area of the base, and then multiplying it by the height of the pyramid. We just found out what the area of my base was, which was 72. So I can start to plug that in. So 1/3 times 72. And what is the height of the pyramid here? 15. Exactly that. If we multiplied all three of these numbers together in our calculator, we would get 360. Okay. And my unit would be feet cubed. Okay. Because I took feet squared over here and just multiplied it by feet. So my final solution would be volume equals 360 feet cubed. Okay. So at this point, I want you guys to press pause on the video and try your best to solve this problem over here. This problem is set up almost identically to this one, just with different numbers. So see if you can carry over the same formulas and understandings and solve over here. As soon as you are done, you can press resume, where I will work through the problem to find out what the answer is. Okay. So for those of us who are back, let's take a look at this pyramid. The base is a rectangle. Okay. So I'm going to start up by solving for the area of the base. The area of the base would just be length times width. So in this case, that would be 10 times 8, which gives me 80 inches squared. Now that I have the area of the base, I can begin solving for the volume of this problem. Okay. So the volume is just going to be 1/3 times the area of the base, which is 80, times the height, which is 6. And if I multiply all that together, I get 160 feet, or my apologies, inches, don't forget the units, cubed. Okay, so that would be my solution for the volume. Let's take a look at a couple other examples as well. So over here we have, instead of a rectangular prism, we have a slightly different type, or a rectangular pyramid, we have a slightly different type of pyramid. The base is a triangle, so we have triangular pyramids. So let's try to apply the same steps here to find solutions. As always, I'm going to do the problem on the left and as a demonstration, and you guys will be working on the problem on the right. Okay. So looking at this example, we need to know what the area of the base is to start off with. Okay. Now the base is a triangle this time. So the formula for the base of a triangle, or for the area of a triangle, is 1/2 base times height, right? My base here would be 3, and my height here would be 3 as well. Again, don't confuse the height of the triangle for the height of the pyramid, okay? I'm talking about this side over here. So if I multiply that out, I'd get 1/2 times 3 times 3, which gives me 4.5 millimeters squared, okay? Now we can solve for volume. My volume formula is just 1/3 times the area of the base, which we just determined to be 4.5. And then what are we going to multiply it by? Yeah, the height of the pyramid. And in this case, what's the height of the pyramid? 4. If I multiply that all through, I'm going to give you guys a second, their calculators, to multiply that out, you should get 6 millimeters cubed. So your volume for this triangular pyramid would be 6 millimeters cubed, okay? For the next problem, I want you guys to go ahead and press pause and solve for the video. Um, as soon as you're done, you can review the solutions on this board, okay? So the area of the base here is just gonna be 1/2 times 14 times 8, right? If I multiply that all out, I will get 56, okay? Then to find the volume, I'm just gonna take 1/3 times the area of my base, which was 56, multiply it by the height of the pyramid, which in this case is 17, and I get 317.33 repeating, okay? And this will be what my solution is for the volume of this triangular pyramid.